Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Bree, and today I am going to take us through a process that will serve us in the highest good of all, so that we can all be reminded of this ability of ours to access the Akashic Records of our soul. I want to start with why you may want to access the Akashic Records and what sorts of things will not be answered in the Akashic Records. So, the Akashic Records are a quantum database that stores every experience, every memory, every connection, every experience of our soul across all time and space. So by accessing the Akashic Records, you have the ability to learn about your patterns. You have the ability to learn about your archetypes. You have the ability to learn about what it is you came to this planet to seed, to experience, to really land and integrate here on the planet. So the types of questions that won't be answered in the Akashic Records, and I will be upfront and real that there are times I try to take souls to the Akashic Records and they are not permitted in. So the Akashic Records can only be accessed those of pure heart intention. Meaning, if you go to the Akashic Records and your intentionality behind your questions is in any way to harm someone or to benefit you in a very material way, don't try. Yeah. So I'm going to go into a channeling state from the Akashic Records so that we can all understand how to access them, why we can access them, what it is we would potentially benefit or gain from accessing them. All right, so if you are down for that, then prepare yourself, because I'm going to want you to have your eyes closed and be seated or laying down. It's up to you. But what I want you to do while I'm doing this is allow your visual faculties, your audient faculties, your sensational faculties to be delivering you this energetic information. To begin, I'm setting the intention that we all be completely enveloped in source light, unconditional love, that we have our highest Christed light beings, our spiritual team around us, with us, supporting us, guiding us. I'm asking our teams to place sacred geometry around each of us that will assist us in accessing these Akashic Records today and learning about them further. I'm asking all of you now to just center your awareness in your heart space as I take off and allow my consciousness to travel to the Akashic Records and transmit from the Akashic Records directly to your heart. I am now in the Akashic Records with all of you, your consciousness only, your light body only. And I'm now being shown that many of you will have a specific experience here. Allow and notice. What do you see? How does it feel here at you? They're wanting me to ask these questions, our guides and the keepers of the Akashic Records, so that you may stamp in this awareness, this feeling, this sensation, this blueprint of access. All right, now I have 3 beings that are stepping forth, and they would like to speak on the Akashic Records and what you may use them for in the highest good of all. So I'm going to allow for them to speak through me now as I listen with you. We are the keepers of the Akashic Records. And we are here to assist all living beings to align soulfully and return to their essence. The Akashic Records that are being accessed in this transmission are accessed from the 7th plane, the 7th density, the 7th dimension. It is here where we gather and store information that is populating from linear timelines. And we also have access to the spirit realm. These are meant to be in alignment, these timelines and the spirit realm. And one thing we do here is ensure this. Each of you starts your human life with a set of contracts. These are not binding contracts, and most of them will eventually be edited to assist you to adjust to the environment you are in. Some contracts are very difficult to break because they are essential to the overarching mission, lesson, and soul evolution that you came to the planet to unfold and to seed. What you can do is purify your energetic field through centering yourself on love and unity within your heart, and then allow for questions to arise from there. You do not need to access the Akashic Records from the 7th plane as Bree does. This is simply part of her contracts. It does not matter if you are accessing them from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You will be accessing the information your soul wished for you to receive. We do have many who try to access these, and they believe that they are, but they are not. How can you know if you are accessing true Akashic Records or not? And what we would share there is the information you receive from the Akashic Records will never divide or label or aid in the separating emotional experiences that many experience as human. We have many come to sever or end a contract with someone in their life, and yet this is not possible for you as a soul until you have completed your karmic agreement with another soul. This is why some souls will remain in your life even though you don't see yourself as wanting them in your life. You have not completed your karma. So we would like to emphasize that if you have a relationship that you are unsure of and you go to the Akashic Records, what you will receive there is simply clarity on what it is the arrangement was written up for. You see. We would like to speak about those of you that would like to go to the Akashic Records because you are feeling a sense of unsafety or unsureness, an indecision. Your soul wishes for you to make your own decisions, you see. So accessing the Akashic Records is not about rewriting the original plan of your soul. It is more so about understanding and familiarizing yourself with the original divine soul blueprint that you created for yourself. We would like to give you some practical tips about accessing the Akashic Records. We suggest that before you access them, you work through what it is you are trying to work through on your own, we will call it. We ask you to experiment with automatic writing and channeling your higher self before accessing the records. The reason for this is because we would like you to get a feeling for the essence of you before you access the records. This will assist you to ensure that the information you are receiving is authentic and true. Many of you want this Akashic Records access, this ability, because you feel it will make your life easier, and we will ask you, will it? We ask this because many of you ask the question of people in your lives and of yourself over and over and over again. But you don't trust that the answer you're receiving is what you need. So you deny it. And if you go to the Akashic Records with this question, it will be no different. So you see, accessing the Akashic Records is about creating an intimate relationship with yourself. Many of you are energy workers, you are channels, you are healers, coaches, therapists, parents, workers that are on the front line and serving. Do you know why that you wish to spread light here? If you do not know the answer to this, the Akashic Records can assist you. We have many coming and asking what their purpose is. And what we would need to share here is that your purpose must be discovered on your own. And your purpose is not fixed or stagnant. It will dance and move with you. Some questions we would like to recommend you ask within the Akashic Records are as follows, and some of you will want to pause the video so that you can write these down. What are the predominant archetypes my soul is adept in? What you will discover here in asking this question are the archetypes that will come very naturally to you on this planet. The archetypes that you have already mastered. What we would also like you to ask is, what archetypes did I come to this planet to expand on? Because there are some archetypes that will feel new to you. And for those archetypes, what we would like to share about simultaneous lives is that your soul has an interest of experience. Your soul has an interest of expansion. Your soul is curious. And your soul enjoys growth. So the archetypes that you have tried on but never fully allowed on, you have the opportunity to expand those in this life. To have a curious exploration of those in this life. And this will assist all of your soul. And for some of you, but not all, you may want to ask what archetypes you've never mastered. And perhaps you'll want to explore those as well. Now in scanning all of you here in this transmission, we sense that many of you have a burning question that you'd like to ask of the Akashic Records. And so, we invite you in this moment to ask it now. Some of you are already receiving your answer. Some of you are already revising your question. And some of you are feeling this confidence that you will be able to access these forever moving forward. Some of you are elated, realizing you have saved yourself much trouble. Many of you are realizing you no longer have to continue to add to your stack of knowledge, add to your stack of books, of certifications, of accreditations, of proving to the world that you are good enough. You realize this is not necessary now. You realize now that your soul is all you need to be. And many of you are also being taken to aspects, fragments, pieces, repeating loops within your ego field that are now going to be much softer and simpler to navigate and untangle. We now allow Bree to travel back to her body to help you understand what just unfolded. You are all being landed and grounded for your highest good, sealed in divine light. Mama Gaia is now making sure that you are all taken care of, that anything you release today is completely transmuted and alchemized into the seeds that will become the inspiration moving forward. We thank you all for taking this time, and we thank you, Bree, for allowing this session. I ask you all to just breathe deeply, ground your bodies, maybe some tapping. We're all just sharing a collective thank you to the keepers of the Akashic Records for allowing this beautiful transmission. It is my sincere, heartfelt intention that this serves you in the very highest good of all. The Akashic Records are a quantum library, a space library where we can deepen into our soul. And the keepers really laid that out very beautifully. And it is my hope that you can use this transmission to simply be a stepping stone for you on your journey to soulful embodiment and to really starting to read and discover this book of your divine soul blueprint. Just some practical bits of experiential advice that I can share is that as long as you set the pure heart intention that you're accessing the Akashic Records to experience and receive information that will serve the highest good of all, have fun. Explore. Allow it to be. And also remember that this is a journey for you. So your ego may question. Your ego may go, this isn't really happening. Your ego may say, this isn't real. Let the ego be the ego. Just let it keep sharing. And then if it gets too much, then just ask that part of your mind to move to the side so that you can just be in your soul experiencing the records. Because the ego is also being updated in these accesses. I know they spoke to that. And the question, this is the other thing I want to share before we close this out, is the question that you sent to the Akashic Records today. I know they asked, offer your question. If you did not receive an answer that feels deeply truthful, deeply clarifying, deeply loving, you may have received an answer to your question that may challenge you a bit, but if it does feel right, it feels true, it feels good, and it's not judging anyone in your life, and it's not saying anything negative about anyone in your life or creating divide, then great. And if you didn't receive an answer, then just know that you may receive that answer in your sleep. Because when you're in your sleep, your ego mind goes to sleep. So you're really working in the subconscious. So all those background fears that you just don't really want to face because they're too hard in the conscious, that's when you're really processing those in the sleep time. So know that you may receive that answer to the question while you're sleeping, and your brain waves are settled to the point that they can receive it. So just pay attention the next time maybe that you wake up from a night's sleep or a day's sleep, and just see, do I have some clarity on that question now? And go right into your heart right when you wake up. The reason that I'm asking you to do that is because as you wake up in the day, your ego mind is going to start to kind of be in the presence. But when you first wake up, you're really fresh. You're still, there's not that barrier between the conscious and the subconscious. So it's easier to access the information you're receiving in your sleep time. I hope that this served you in the very highest good of all. This was inspired by one of my very beautiful, beautiful souls that I have the honor and gifted pleasure to work with. You know who you are. I will send this to you as well. And thank you for taking the time today. If you are here on this channel, it is because you're deepening into your soul, and I honor you. I'm grateful for you. Please share this with someone that you feel may benefit, and also feel free to repeat it or just skip to the parts that really helped you out. Thank you for being here. Namaste.